Now, Dane, are we supposed to believe that that serve was in? That's Dane Blanton with Tim Hovland, our Wilson tip of the week on jump serving for accuracy. Mike Dodd and Mike Whitmarsh. Mark Kieran's grunting and groaning his way into the finals with Henry Russell. Our matchup is set the finals here at the Miller Lite AVP Championships of New England. Finally down to 2, and to meet our finalists, let's send it down to the man with the microphone on center court. Voice of the AVP, Jim Rico, with our Copper Tone Sport player introductions. Jimmy?
Thank you very much, Paul Sunderland, Tim Hovland. Welcome to Stadium Court. How we doing, New England? Yeah, baby! Let's meet the finalists in our championship match. First of all, a gentleman we call Snake Plissken. He is the Primal One. He's out of Long Beach State University. Say hello to Primal Mr. Mark Cairns, MK. Next up, a gentleman who learned to play pro beach volleyball, or beach volleyball, I should say, on the sands of Honolulu, Hawaii, while doing a stint with the Marine Corps. He's the man we call Snake Plissken. Say hello to the finalist in San Antonio, back again, right here, Mr. Henry Russell. Introducing the Olympic silver medalists, winners in Dallas and Fort Myers this year already. 6'7" tall. He's one of the biggest blocks on the beach. Say hello to Big Mike Whitmarsh. Last but certainly not least, the ageless one. 5 Manhattan Open championships to his credit. The oldest player in beach volleyball history. Ladies and gentlemen, MD Mike Dodd. Let's give it up, New England. What do you say out there?
Big, enthusiastic crowd on hand here in Cape Cod. Our matchup, Mike Dodd and Mike Whitmarsh. And the number 9 seed, the upset and surprise team of the week, together for the first week, Mark Kieran's and Henry Russell. And Craig Hummer standing by courtside with the mics.
Thanks, Paul. MD, it's taken a while. It's been since Dallas since you've been in a final. What's been the key this weekend?
Just my partner playing great, and we've just been playing good all weekend. Hopefully we can continue here in the final.
Whit, you saw these guys a little bit earlier today. You beat them 15-11. How are you going to do it this time?
Hopefully we can play like we did last game. They're really tough conditions out here. The wind's really swirling, but these guys have been playing well all weekend, and we're going to need to play well to win.
All right, good luck, guys. Get after it. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Craig Hummer, who will be giving us reports from courtside throughout the course of this final. It's been a fun weekend, a holiday weekend here. Conditions are absolutely perfect. About 83 degrees and surprisingly very low humidity. But Tim, what about this hard-packed sand condition? Going to be a factor in the final?
No doubt about it. Mike Whitmarsh gets out of sand anyway. But on this hard pack, he'll get armpits above the net, and he'll be blocking some balls. But the advantage for Kieran's in Russell is the wind is kicked up a little bit more. The jump serve could score him some points that they're desperately going to need.
And should not be overlooked that Mark Kieran's and Henry Russell probably won the flip and have decided to, rather than serve, start on the good side. Would you think that's the case?
No doubt about that. You win that flip, you take the good side, try to jump up to a 5-0 lead or 4-1.
Henry Russell and Mark Kieran's have played the one extra match. Again, as you heard Craig Hummer mention, these two teams played in the finals of the winner's bracket, won relatively easily by the much more experienced team of Mike Dodd and Mike Whitmarsh. There is Mike Dodd. You heard that he was the oldest player in the history of beach volleyball. Well, not quite. I want to correct that. With all due respect to Jim Rico, he's the oldest player in beach volleyball history to have won a tournament. It's a minor clarification, but I think an important one.
Mike Whitmarsh really matches up well with Kieran's. He likes his cross court. Kieran's likes to come with low heat. And with Whitmarsh up there blocking, I think they're going to concentrate on Kieran's to see how his game goes and play it out.
There is Henry Russell. Grew up in Florida. Marines right out of high school. Was bi-coastal the first couple of years as he was attempting to move up the ranks on the AVP tour as Mike Dodd sides out. But then Henry said, look, if I'm going to be any good at this game, I got to move out to Los Angeles. And last year, he was the most improved player on tour. Mike Whitmarsh, now 35 years of age, 6'7", long arms, plays bigger than 6'7", remarkably. Nice hustle. Very fresh legs right away by Dodd Whitmarsh.
Whitmarsh plays big because he goes for a full squat jump when he gets up there. Some players go with a half jump. He goes all over the ground and comes up.
Mark Kieran's an All-American 3 times at Long Beach State. Tim Hovland pointed out that he was only first team once. Of course, Tim was first team probably. You were first team 3 times when you were at USC? I appreciate that clarification. I'm not sure he did.
Oh, give him credit for his due. Out of bounds.
Mike Dodd hits that ball wide, and we are tied at 1. Dodd Whitmarsh did strike first, getting ahead 1-0, and I emphasize it because it was from the bad side.
Exactly. I wouldn't doubt if we saw Mike Dodd go back on the bad side and throw up some deep sky balls. Maybe the first time this season we'll see one.
And very rarely do players throw it up. Since St. John Smith has left the AVP tour, he used to break up the sky ball all the time. Good ball by Mike Whitmarsh, and side out to the ageless one, Mike Dodd. You know, we keep talking about Mike's age, but, you know, 95, 96, he was best defensive player, you know, of the year. You don't give those awards just out of charity. So he may be advanced in years a little bit, but playing at an extremely high level.
Experience is 80% of this game. Well, look at that. That's not going to go. Mike Dodd knows the players. He knows what their tendencies are. He sets up. Doesn't matter how hard you hit the ball. He'll be there digging your lips.
I agree. You can hit the ball as hard as you want. If Dodd gets the ball on his arms, he's there.
Push with the wind. Push with the wind. It's not going to happen.
It's one of the disadvantages of being on the good side. When you hit a cut shot into the top of the tape, the wind might blow it back over. Mark Kieran, sound effects and all, really noted on the beach for grunting in such a pronounced way. Not as consistently as Steffi Graf, but he does let out some noise.
Even in warm-ups, he comes up, sees the block. Watch the hands by Russell. Nice set. Crushes it down the middle, side out.
Boy, he was quick on that play.
Woo, quick. Henry Russell, they need to get back there and bomb some serves. He has a kind of a knuckle jump serve that's very difficult to pass.
Right set. And maybe the key deficiency for Henry Russell and Mark Kieran, they don't scramble particularly well behind their respective blockers.
They had some good digs in the semifinal match there, but as far as being laterally and jumping down on the ground, I don't think so.
Dodd, Mike Whitmarsh, only 1 win last year. Ooh, we saw it in the semifinals. Javi told Henry Russell to put that back in the closet, and he broke it out once again, a la Randy Stoklow.
I will guarantee you, Henry Russell, that is not that crisp. Mike Dodd will not let that go down again. If he does, we'll have words. But that won't happen again.
Kieran's to serve as hard as he can, and that ball just a little bit long. Again, Mark Kieran's and Henry Russell are on the good side, and it's been blowing all day long here, a big advantage, and I think those conditions still hold true, but Dodd and Whit are so experienced, they know how to play in the wind.
Exactly. When the ball's moving around up there, Mike Whitmarsh sees it, he'll drop off, he'll penetrate the net, and Mike Dodd, you know, better defensive player on the beach. Oh, gets that one up, he can't control it.
You know, a lot of people think that, well, only the blocker can put pressure on you defensively. They think once the ball, but Dodd puts a lot of pressure on you to hit very crisp shots.
Well, they move like a unit together. Whitmarsh will give him the 2 sign, maybe the double 2 sign, where he's going to take the hard angle, and then Dodd's going to come around and dig the angle shot. So he's outthinking the opponent from the get-go. That comes with experience. They've played together now 6 years. They know each other inside and out.
Mike Dodd tapping down the line. And Mike Dodd, we talked about their success this year. I mentioned that they only won once last year in San Francisco. They've already won twice this year in Fort Myers and in Dallas. But they took the 17th in San Antonio. And Mike Dodd took the following week off to rest that ankle. And Whitmarsh played with Scott Akatubby and took a 17th. So together or apart, it's been a very up and down season. Mike Whitmarsh was telling me that he feels that Dodd's ankle is 70, 80% now and going to improve marginally. Will not be 100% this year. There just isn't time for it to recover, but they feel they can win a few more times the second half of the season.
They've been right there. I mean, they got 3rd in Chicago. You got to finish big in the big tournaments. Mike has always been a big game hunter.
Learned that from you.
And he brought in Whitmarsh into the crowd, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them back on top when the big money comes around.
Chance for Russell. That ball set well back and blowing even farther back. And you can tell, we've talked about the windy conditions. And it's difficult. And a lot of people who see beach volleyball for the first time think, oh, you said it's so windy. You said it's so this. You know, it's not that difficult, but I'll tell you, plays like this remind someone that playing out in the wind is a tough thing to do.
It's a humbling experience once in a while, and that was one of them.
I don't even try it anymore. If I go out and play with my kids, it's got to be glassy, dead calm. I am absolutely
foggy.
And foggy. You're right. A fair weather beach volleyball player now.
Come on, Russ!
Makes you appreciate you come out here and try to play.
Well, because the great players, like we saw Pete Sampras today at Wimbledon over Cedric Pioline, he makes it look so easy because he's playing at such a high level. That ball hit into the top of the tape, and we're tied at 2. Henry Russell, Mark Kierans against Dodd and Whitmarsh. Kierans and Russell, the number 9 seeds. We'll tell you how they got to this final a little bit later. Mike Whitmarsh cutting that ball into the tape, tied at 2.
Mike kind of missed that set, brought him off about 8 feet. Whitty couldn't control it, puts in the top of the net. That's a big point. 2-2 on the good side, yeah.
Excuse me, Tim, you got to think that if Kierans and Russell can really stay in touch the first couple of side changes, they'll have a lot of confidence as this game goes along.
But the more they can hit around Mike Whitmarsh's block and start feeling the court, hitting some hard cross courts, mixing in some shots, they'll get their confidence.
See, 39-year-old Mike Dodd, 9 top 5 finishes last year. Mike Whitmarsh won $171,000. Mike Dodd, $147,000. The difference. Oh, wow. Mark Kierans. We saw Dane Blanton and Canyon Seaman with some rockets in our semifinal, and the first major explosion here. Not many earthquakes in this part of the country, but that one might have registered.
He comes with some heat. He can grunt anytime he hits the ball like that. That is fine. But Whitmarsh will take offense to that, and he'll try to throw up a big block. Uh-oh.
Oh, nice set by Henry Russell.
Good opportunity. Oh, he's over the net.
Yeah, that's good call. Good call by Jeff Jordan. And Henry Russell and Mark Kierans, I think, will remember that specific play. Could have been the 3-2 side change and some momentum, and they screwed it up.
They had 2 swings for it. They didn't take advantage of it, and Kierans makes a rookie mistake. Maybe a little too excited. Should have waited on the ball. Clearly over the net. Wait on it. Dodd's out of position.
No question.
Bad break.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. He could have almost just blocked, tapped it, soft blocked it down. Some portion of the ball must be on your side of the net for you to attack it like Mark Kierans did. He should have just blocked that ball.
That's the nice move right there, the double-double.
And the double-double does not play, but you can see the sort of games. Describe some of the other games that Dodd and Whitmarsh play defensively.
Especially after a point missed opportunity like that, he's going to be a little hesitant. So they're going to go for a double-double, the fake block, moving into it. He's going to go for a shot probably because he just made a bad mistake. So he doesn't want to get blocked. He wants to put the ball away. That's good thinking by Dodd and Whitmarsh. And a spear up the middle by Henry Russell.
That'll bring him back just a little bit. We got a pretty good final going, the number 2 seeded team. Dodd and Whitmarsh staying in, down 3-2. Welcome back to the finals here at the Miller Lite AVP Championships of New England in Cape Cod. And I think that young man is having some fun here with a little beach volleyball. And let's take a look at a team that's having some fun with a side change ace, Tim Hovland.
Watch this right down the middle here. He sees it. It's the old husband and wife. Easy point. They've got to talk it up. Henry Russell sees it. Good strike. Hits it hard. You got it. I don't want it. Point.
You got it. I don't want it. Dodd and Whitmarsh do not get aced very often. I want to talk to you young beach volleyball players out there about the Wilson AVP qualifying tour. This is a way for you to move up into the ranks, get some points so you can participate. It's the only way for young players to get on to the Miller Lite AVP tour. An important opportunity. Here is the schedule around the country. If you live in one of these areas, you see Albuquerque, New Mexico, Houston, Portland, Orlando, Florida, Colorado Springs, Grand Rapids, Michigan. If you're an aspiring player, if you want to be a Henry Russell who grew up in Florida, you don't have to be from California. Those are the dates of the Wilson qualifying tour, the official qualifying tour of the AVP. So those are the dates, and get out there, do as well as you can, and we might see you in Orlando or in Hermosa at one of the next Grand Slam events. Paul Sunderland with Tim Hovland, and a good final. Kierans and Russell over the number 3 seed team of Dodd and Whitmarsh. Dodd and Whitmarsh on the good side, trailing 3-2. Now, everybody for a long time, Tim, and when you played with Dodd, we always bagged on you about your inability to serve. But Dodd and Whit are serving better from the good side.
No doubt about it. They get back there, they give it the jump serve. They don't have the strength in their arm that Mark Kierans or Henry Russell does, but it moves around, and Whit follows it up.
Both Kierans and Russell. Talked about Henry Russell talking about their ability to consistently side out.
Yes.
One of the keys is both of these big guys, 6'6", can set the ball with their hands.
Great hands. If they pass the ball, the set's going to be there. They've got to get them in trouble on the pass, which is so hard to do.
Now we'll see what Kierans and Russell can do on the bad side. Dodd and Whitmarsh were able to score 2 points. Wind may be dropping just a little bit. Kierans and Russell missed an opportunity earlier, but they convert there, and once again, nice set by Henry Russell.
They're playing loose as I've ever seen. Watch this turn here. Nice left-handed stab. Hands are perfect, puts them right on. He sees the block, goes off the top, Black and Decker. Punto, 4-2.
Do you get a little more time as a hitter when your partner takes the ball with his hands softly to recover off the defensive play?
If he's reading you right, he's put up just a little bit higher. And there's a big block by Henry Russell.
First block of the game, I do believe, and Henry Russell notches it, and immediately, Tim, 2 points on the bad side.
Moves his left hand into the traffic zone, puts that ball back down. 5-2 lead. They can't let him get away with, if they get a 4-point switch on this, Dodd and Whitmarsh are in trouble. It's still early. Mind you, they can serve some aces if they go to the good side. Up.
Great save, putting pressure on Dodd and Whit. And easy tap down. Once, yes, for Kierans, making a marvelous defensive stab, but unable to recover. He landed very hard. We talked about this being hard packed. It looks like he might have gotten the wind knocked out of him. He's now, he looks like a football player, a basketball player, took a charge, trying to recover a little bit here. And if you're Dodd and Whit, you recognize that and serve and go right at him.
Serve right at him. Make him side out. This is for money. This isn't for love.
I thought it was for love and money, or love of money.
Love of money.
Henry Russell, he drops his head. Is he looking at Dodd and Whit, or just Dodd, or just Whit? But very pronounced nod of the head.
Some players just do that. They want to look at the court and come back up. It's a difficult thing to do. I wouldn't suggest doing it. Just watching the block and then feeling for the guy in the back. Depends on how you grew up doing it.
Short serve to Dodd. Oh, stuffed by Mark Kierans.
Way over the net.
The lead goes out to 6-2 and take a 10. I'm not sure if that said 95, but that's a 10 stuff.
That is a 10 stuff. Penetrating and showing the upper flex. I like the emotion.
For Mark Kierans, a long and storied background as an indoor player, so blocking certainly important there as it is out on the beach. And moving his feet well to get into good blocking position. How does that help to really move your feet?
What big players do not do, they think they can reach into the holes. If the ball's drifting in a little bit inside, take the Nanu steps, just a couple little steps, set up on his inside shoulder and penetrate that block.
That was Nanu, not...
That's right, just Nanu, just little ones, not foot long, just Nanu. Whitmarsh, that was a touchdown, but I guess not. Point.
Managed to sizzle the pits off the top of the tape. And you said Kierans does hit the angle low.
Yes.
And as big as he is, he's got to hit that ball high and deep and make unforced errors like that. Make it 6-3 now, Dodd and Whit. Trying to stay in on the good side. Russell and Kierans have been very, very good. Dodd with the chase.
That's experience right there, baby.
That's lips. Digging lips. You try to hit it right at me, and Mike Dodd, the best I have ever seen at standing in, absorbing all of that great shock and just saying, what else have you got? We're at the side change. Dodd and Whitmarsh now trailing by only 2. Mark Kierans and Henry Russell out on top at the first side change, 3-2. Now make it 6-4, and Mike Dodd playing spectacular defense, as you well know, Tim, and have come to appreciate. through the years, and that young man certainly enjoys. Says, how can guys hit the ball so hard at that guy? And he just stands in and digs the ball. The guy's amazing.
Experience, lined him up, saw his power angle, came with every bit of his might, lifts him straight up, and then cuts him for good measure.
Our championship match of the Miller Lite AVP Championships of New England. Last year we were over in Maine, and this year have moved back to the Cape Cod area. $135,000 in prize money, $27,000 to the winners of this particular match. We'll run down the prize money for the other spots as the championship winds on. And Mike Whitmarsh, 6'7", now in his 7th season with Mike Dodd exclusively.
Angle.
Good call. Ooh, Mike Whitmarsh needed to be about 6'9" there. Scooped that one out, and the violation called.
Going back to Henry Russell, only his 3rd reception of this match. Been concentrating more on Mark Kierans. They've served him 9 times. Why mix it up a little bit?
Why the discrepancy?
Well, obviously they think they can have better success on Kierans, but right now they're down 6-4, so they're trying to mix it up a little bit. There's a big ace by Mark Kierans.
Jump serve ace by Mark Kierans. We saw that to key the 3-2 side change.
Mark Kierans taking it right down the middle here. Mike Dodd can't figure it. Just off the touch.
Boy, that ball is way away from Mike Whitmarsh. You got to feel that that's Dodd's ball, but it's really coming in a hurry.
It was really moving like a knuckleball. Oh, no, big mistake.
2 points in a row scored by Kierans and Russell. They took the side change with the lead at 6-4, and now that has moved to 8-4.
Too quickly. That was a nice set. Mike came under a little bit behind his head, couldn't control it. Can't give up the easy ones.
Mark Kierans, another tough jump serve. Dodd knows this is important, so he's going all out to chase. And Dodd can't, I should say Mike Whitmarsh, who may well have hurt himself laying out for that ball. This is a very hard-packed court. We're in the parking lot of the Cape Cod Mall, and this is not soft, deep, natural sand. And we've already seen Mark Kierans maybe lose his wind, and maybe Whitmarsh with a tough ball here.
Well, what's underneath those Dorna sands are railroad ties. Watch Whitmarsh's knee. Kind of runs into it. He's taking a timeout right now to look at it. It looks like he's walking fine. Could be a little sore.
Well, that's a good, smart timeout, not only because Mike Whitmarsh may be hurting, but this team is also getting scored upon with regularity. Dodd and Whit trail by 5. Back in Cape Cod, Kierans and Russell trying to pull the upset over Dodd and Whitmarsh, but right now the concern with big Mike Whitmarsh's knee. Let's go courtside to Craig Hummer for this report.
Thanks, Paul. Mike, you guys had a great rally, but it looked like you went with both knees into the Dorna. How's it doing?
They're a little sore, but it's not hurting as bad as we're playing here. We got to pick it up. Those guys are playing well, and we're not playing very aggressive at all. So we got to pick it up and try to get these last 2 points.
All right, good luck. Back to you guys.
Mike Whitmarsh saying that physically he is all right, but you can see the frustration on his face with the #1 seeds of Jose Loyola and Kent Steffes not here, and Dodd and Whitmarsh in the finals. I think they were very much looking at this as a big opportunity. When Whit says they've got to be more aggressive, where?
More aggressive as it's siding out. They've got to pass that ball. They have to get 2 points on this side to come back to this game. They go down 11-4. They've got a mountain to climb.
4 minutes and 13.3 seconds left on our Swatch game clock. Dodd and Whitmarsh trailed 6-4 at the side change, but have given up 3 quick points. And a little more confusion on that jump serve. And that's looking like a pretty passive side-out formation.
Especially after a timeout like that, you got to come out, be aggressive. I think that's Mike Dodd's ball. The ball's curving a little bit. Starting off on Whitmarsh and curving into the middle. Somebody's got to take it.
Go!
Good effort by Mark Kierans, laying out as hard as he can. We've seen Dodd and Whitmarsh come back time and time again, but in order to get in that situation, you have to be able to side out.
Exactly, and not give up the easy points we said earlier. Right now, they are not aggressive. Whitmarsh doesn't have a block in the game yet. Dodd's dug a few balls, but things aren't going their way. They need more time on the court. There's 4:09 left. There's plenty of time. Start siding out.
This is the kind of team you would think that Mike Whitmarsh would get a couple of stuffs on. Oh, another smart shot by Henry Russell. They're serving Mark Kierans all the time. again, so that takes that's one less swing against Dodd and Witt.
That should not go down. I am sorry, it is not that good of a shot. It's a left-handed, watch this pass, left-handed conch shot over the top. Whitmarsh should jump and touch that ball up somehow. I think it could be another point right here. No.
Looking for the 11-4 side change. Whitmarsh does get the soft block, but deflects it out of the way from Mike Dodd. So Kierans and Russell do move out to the 11-4 advantage, and so far the number 4 seeds have been in trouble. Just 4 minutes, under 4 minutes left in our championship match here, the Miller Lite AVP Championships of New England, and Mark Kierans and Henry Russell, the number 9 seeds, all over Mike Dodd and Mike Whitmarsh right now. Kierans and Russell have had an outstanding weekend. They beat Karch Kirai and Adam Johnson 13-11 in the semifinals. That really got them in a position to go ahead and get into the finals, and their victory over the 17th seed of Persley and Castillo was key as well, because Persley and Castillo had upset the number 1 seed of Troy Tanner and Randy Stokelo. So that opened the door, but you have to take advantage when one of the top seeds loses, and Henry Russell and Mark Kierans have done it.
We said at the top of the show, they feel confident, they have nothing to lose, they're having fun out here. That's exactly the way they're playing in this finals. They don't feel the pressure. If you don't feel the pressure, you play like you have all tournament long. They have a good result going right now, up 11-4.
7-point lead against a team that's not passing the jump serve right now, and give you all kinds of confidence. But Dodd and Witt are a great comeback team.
Nice shot by MD, and then ultimate left side cutty.
There's one. Let's see what the score is after the next side change. That could be key.
The defense is what gets you points, and this is Mike Dodd on his horse. Nice dig. Goes over the top. They bring it back on the stab shot. Mike gets it back. Sees the left side open. Inside out cut shot. Point.
Kierans is playing some good defense, and they stay on him. He has received a lot of serves lately, and he continues to bang that ball over the top and down. We look at the serve receive numbers right now. Mark Kierans has received 10 serves, Henry Russell only 3. So even though Mark Kierans appears to be the much harder hitter, they're working on him.
Whitmarsh is trying to get in the zone so he could take advantage of his hard hitting, so he can get a few blocks. Right now, Kierans is winning the war at the net.
And at the service line so far, he's got a couple of aces.
Hey, line! Go, 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 go!
That's a sweet touch block by Henry Russell.
That ball is in. It may just be their day. That was a remarkable point-scoring opportunity in conversion, and the set from Mark Kierans off the touch really made this happen.
The stars are lined up in their favor. Great set by Mark Kierans, and then rolling the top of the tape, wishing it out, hits the top. Watch this spinning Michael Jordan on the top. That's a tough shot to make.
Boy, you know it's got to be your kind of day, and Dodd and Whitmarsh have to be wondering, what do we have to do against these guys? 12-5 now, Kierans and Russell. Make it 13-5.
Super timeout right now. A long timeout. Try to take some momentum away. Calm this game down, I would have to suggest. They're getting points way too quickly.
Well, and they're getting them on the bad side.
Exactly.
Windy conditions have been the topic of conversation all season long, and you wonder if Dodd and Whitmarsh have said, hey, wait a minute, today, Kierans and Russell are just the better team. They're not calling timeout.
Just when you think you have Dodd and Whitmarsh, they can turn and burn on you. But right now, they've got to get it going. Or the confidence that Henry Russell and Mark Kierans are feeling will carry them through.
I certainly think that Dodd and Witt are one of the best comeback teams on the beach, but you sometimes need a little help from the opposition, and Kierans and Russell have just been playing super. Another side out by Henry Russell.
Down the line, away from the angle block.
Especially like that. Not really attacking the ball, just going off the top. Smart play. You can't attack a Whitmarsh block. You've got to work around it, and that's what they're doing.
3 minutes and 16.8 seconds left. Plenty of time, but you're wondering if Dodd and Whitmarsh have a game today. It's a hard bang cross court by Mike Dodd.
That's as much heat as Mike Dodd's got. Nice cross court inside the block of Mark Kierans.
You start thinking about a little history here. Mike Whitmarsh has 16 career wins and over $1 million in prize money. Mike Dodd has 74 and over $1.5 million in prize money. If you're wondering about Mark Kierans, who has that nice tap down for a side out, he has zero wins. $144,000 all-time in prize money. Henry Russell has 0 wins. Both having superb years.
Yeah. Their second finals.
Just never together.
Oh.
There's nobody to hit.
It's a tough hit to set.
Try to get within one. Mark Kierans, pretty tough shot down the line.
Putting it in play and
Boy,
putting
hits
it
that ball
out.
out of bounds. But with the big lead in control, 13-5, that shot doesn't necessarily get amplified in the stats for this match.
We'll see, unless he can't come out and side out the next couple points.
Dodd and Witt have got to get back, obviously, to third. If Henry Russell and Mark Kierans get to 14, 6 side change.
Break out the Miller Lite, the party's over.
Look at that heat.
He knows he's got the feeling right now. He's in the zone. He knows where Whitmarsh is at. He's bombing around it. Witty's got to change it up. Maybe don't go the jump serve. Bring him into the net. Serve him short, serve him deep, change it up.
I mean, we always talk about Mike Whitmarsh, and you do, as being the biggest block on the beach, and it's not just hyperbole. He's the biggest and the best blocker on the beach, but has really not been a factor against Kierans here in our championship match.
Oh. That's a great shot.
Boy, Kierans and Russell are given everything. They want to get their first ever win. I'm not sure that they're exhausted just yet, but sometimes playing like it.
Dodman reeling in Mark Kierans. You can feel him in towards the net. Goes deep, pokey over the top. That's a nice touch shot.
Just throwing a little water, a little bait out on the water.
He feels
early.
the tug. He feels the tug, and he goes deep over him.
Oh, nice shot. Mark Kierans is heavily in the zone right now because he's changing things up. He's using some off speed. Very, very effective moving the ball around.
Dodd Whitmarsh have to counter with that. Maybe drop a little bit more or move him towards the net. Siding out way too easily.
Mark Kierans, 7th year on tour again, 29 years of age, has a daughter, Summer, back home, who's going to enjoy Daddy probably bringing home some extra loot. And they are now 1 point away. The lead is 14-5.
This is the feeling. This is the feeling. Watch Henry. Sees the block. Sees the man approaching. Nice left-handed penetration. Puts the ball away. It's 14. It's your first victory is at hand. You are nervous right now. Mark Kierans back there going, oh boy. Oh boy. Please, God, make this good.
We should start thinking about some history here. Championship point #1. Henry Russell.
Almost.
Go, Mark.
That's it.
Is it? Oh, man.
That's a special moment. Congratulations to Mark Kierans and Henry Russell. Their first career win. We'll hear from the champions when we come back. And certainly playing very, very hard today. The number 9 seeded team of Henry Russell and Mark Kierans. They defeat Mike Dodd and Mike Whitmarsh, the number 3 seeds, and heavily favored 15-5 in our finals. And these guys are happy, and they're standing by with our Craig Hummer. Craig?
Paul, as you can see, a couple very happy guys. Mark, you guys came out so focused at times it just looked like you wanted it more.
God, well, played them this morning. It was tough. We made some mistakes, and we paid for it. We didn't want to do that again. We got a second chance, and we just didn't want to let it slip away, and we didn't.
Now, Henry, you guys seem to really mix around your play very well. You know, aces here and there, you and Mark making the points. Was that, I know, but was that the key? Did you think that if you could mix it around, you'd be able to take them in the second time you've seen one today?
No, I just know that you don't want anyone to get in a rhythm. And if you start jump serving all the time, then they'll get in a rhythm. And just any team, a lot of teams out here are just side-out magnets. So if you get them in a rhythm, then it's going to be easier for them to fight you. So hopefully we just changed it up and it worked out.
Okay, we talked earlier about you guys almost played together at the start of the season. The first tournament together, you win. Which one was the dummy that made the call? No, we won't play together.
Yeah, that was me. That was me. I think I just sort of wanted to go back to my security blanket, you know, because when you change things up, sometimes it's a little shaky. And at that time, it was a little shaky on my part, so I just said, oh, I want to go back to my old partner. So.
Okay, great job, you guys. Well-deserved win. We'll see you in Grand Haven.
Thank you very much.
Back to you guys.
And I would imagine that they'll be together next week. Henry Russell and Mark Kierans. And another historical note this season, Henry Russell becomes the first player ever from the state of Florida to win a championship. Well, another first this season on the Miller Lite AVP Tour. Mark Kierans and Henry Russell win their first ever career championship on the AVP Tour over Dodd and Whitmarsh 15-5, and it was plays like this. And surprisingly, Tim, defensively that made it happen. A look at our Miller Lite play of the game.
We said the defense was a little shaky, but with plays like this is why they won the tournament. Nice soft block, but watch this set right on the net. Henry Russell does a Michael Jordan turnaround, touch the top of tape, put it down. And that was a big turning point at 12-3. Look at that set, right on, and then the turn, hit the top of the tape, kick it down, easy point, Miller Lite, play of the game.
It was that kind of day for Mark Kierans and Henry Russell. Doing it all day. On the other side, a frustrated team of Mike Dodd and Mike Whitmarsh, and always gracious. Mike Dodd, coming up a little bit short today, is standing by, along with Mike Whitmarsh, our Craig Hummer.
Thanks, Paul. MD, we saw Dane Blanton with an injured ankle earlier today. I know you've had an ankle injury since Miami. Did that affect your play at all today?
No, not at all. We've been playing great all weekend, and we happened to choose our worst match to play in the final. A lot of it having to do with how well those guys played. They played a great final, and they're a deserving victor.
Speaking of great finals, Whit, you guys, it seemed it was early on in the match, but you had a chance to go up 3-2 when you were on the bad side. If you could pick any point where the momentum really swung to their side, would that have been it?
Yeah, that's probably it. We had a chance to convert for the 3-2 lead and over to the good side, and we didn't. And we got over the good side, made a couple mistakes, and they got some points, and they got a lot of confidence. If they get ahead of you, they're going to get a lot of confidence and swing hard and high, and that's exactly what happened, and we never got going for some reason.
All right, good luck next weekend, you guys. Great to see you in another final. Back to you.
Mike Dodd and Mike Whitmarsh, I know, very, very disappointed, particularly with the absence of Stephenson Loyola. But now the new star on the beach. There he is, Mark Kierans. Pictures and autographs.